Howdy, hi. It is Dear Job Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Monday, December 1st, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, going to recap previous day's results. Once again, we go 3-3, so a whole bunch of just losing money on the juice. Our winners, UNC Asheville, the over, West Virginia. Our losers, Quinnipiac, Yale, Fresno. Brings our season record to $104.81. We had $9 to the giveaway fund, bringing that total to $78. And I know I said if Yale didn't cover the number, I would ban them, which I was fully prepared to do, up until the Fresno State game happened, and they lost outright to a team that went 1 of 15 from deep. So therefore, you're banned. I don't know how you lose to a team that shoots 1 of 15 from range on your home court. That's egregiously bad. They might need to be looked into once again for betting their own games because that was horrible. So I'll recap these games real quick, then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. First game, UNC Asheville, -3.5. I bet this thing twice. This thing closed as a pick. You could get UNC Asheville before tip-off at -115 on the money line. So I doubled down. My 3.5 and the -115 both hit. Asheville wins the game 67-55. App State 24% from deep, 47% from the free throw line. 7 of 15. They lose the rebound battle. They win the turnover battle. But it doesn't matter when you make 47% of your free throws. UNC Asheville went 3 of 18 from deep and still won the game by double digits. This App State team is horrible. Next game, Vermont-Yale. We had the over, 149.5. This really should not have hit. We got lucky. Vermont, they were down, 6 points with 3 seconds left. They roll the ball to midcourt. A big dude grabs it, chucks it up from 40 feet, and he hits it. It goes over. Final score, 77-74, which hits the over of 149.5 as we get 151 as the total. If that would not have gone in, we would have lost Yale by the hook and the over-under by 2. So that would have been brutal. Thank you to the Vermont guy who hit the half-court shot. Next game, we had West Virginia -22.5. I watched this entire game. Honestly, was not impressed with West Virginia's offense. Their defense was good, but it was also helped by the fact that Mercyhurst went 1 of 8 from the free throw line, and they had 15 turnovers. Final score, WVU 70, Mercyhurst 38. Again, not too impressed with the Mountaineers. They get it done, though, shooting 47% from the field, only 28% from deep. Really haven't seen anything from their transfer from North Dakota, Trayson Eaglestaff. He hasn't done a thing. In their 8 games so far this year, he's scored double-digit points just twice. His other games, he's gone 9-5, 4-3, 5. How are you doing that as your star transfer? All right, now we get on to the losers. Our first loser and my best bet of the day, which we lose by the hook, Quinnipiac -14.5. They win 76-62. That is 14 points. They had a 22-point lead with 6 minutes left, and then they took their starters off the court. Stonehill covers in the last seconds of the game. Existence is pain. Quinnipiac 48% from the field, 50% from deep. They lose the rebound battle. They win the turnover battle. How you're losing the rebound battle to Stonehill, I have no idea, but they kept on getting offensive boards in the final 5 minutes. Not sure why he pulled his starter so quick. You could have kept him out there for the last 2 minutes of the game and not given up 8 points in the final 2. But they did. I lose by the hook. That was not fun. Then you had Yale -6.5. I didn't watch most of this game, but for when I was checking the score, they really weren't covering the game much at all. Final score 77-74. They shot 49% from the field, 35% from deep. They lose the rebound battle. They win the turnover battle. Vermont had 11 turnovers. Yale, not too impressed with their star Townsend. Really, they got most of their performance from one guy off the bench named Riley Fox, who dropped a career-high 23 points. So Riley Fox, good job, but you didn't cover. And then finally, you had the team get added to the ban list. Fresno State took them minus 10.5. This was disgusting. At one point in this game, they had a 15-point lead. They were up 6 points at halftime. They lose the game outright, 76-71. Cal State Bakersfield went 1 of 15 from deep. 1 of 15. They lost the offensive rebound battle 14-6. They won the turnover battle by 6. Fresno, 37% from the field, 24% from deep, 79% from the free throw line. What are you doing losing this game at home? This is, you cannot come back from this. This is like season-blowing kind of stuff. How do you lose this game? Cal State Bakersfield is a horrible basketball team. They went 1 of 15 from deep, and you lose outright on your home court. Fresno, investigate them once again. I do not believe these guys are playing fair basketball. All right, that's how I go 3-3. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, first game. There's a lot going on here. Yes, that is not mistyped. I am taking an under in a college basketball game. South Carolina State, Chicago State. Neither of these teams have won a basketball game, and it is December 1st. Why this over-under is 151.5, I will have no idea. It has actually gone up since opening lines dropped. It opened at 149.5. People are actively betting the over in a South Carolina State and Chicago State basketball game. Make that make sense. This one tips off 12 o'clock noon, so if you are a true DGen and you want midday action between two teams who are 0-16 combined, put your nuts on the table and drop some money on this game. South Carolina State, we've been fading them basically the entire year. I would fade them here, but there's no way I am laying 2.5 points with Chicago State. South Carolina State 0-8 on the season. They shoot it 38% from the field. They average 66 points a game. This is their 4th consecutive road game in a row, and they have 3 more after this. And you're telling me they're going to have to score somewhere around the ballpark of 75 points. No chance. Chicago State, not to be outdone, are also winless at 0-8. This is only their 2nd home game of the year. Their previous home game, they lost by 4 points. They also suck at putting the basketball in the hoop. 66% not from the field. I meant from the free throw line. 66% from the field. That is so inaccurate. 66% is supposed to be from the free throw line. This team sucks. Don't discourage the fact that I can't type to do anything. Both these teams are awful. Just take the under. They're 0-16 and the over is 151.5. How? They suck. Next game, Cal Baptist. I'm going to take them plus 12.5 on the road. True road spot in Colorado. Normally, I don't bet these games on the West Coast just because I have to make the video and I update what I did the previous day's results. But I will here. Pretty short slate for a Monday. The rest of the week has some really good games, but tonight not so much. Starts 9 o'clock Eastern. Both of these teams are undefeated. So we go 2 winless teams to 2 flawless teams. Cal Baptist, they have wins against UC Irvine, UC Riverside, Oregon State. They've played some decent competition. They play basketball at a slow pace, keeps games really tight, so it's kind of tough to beat them by 12.5 no matter what court you're playing on. They're a top 5 rebounding team in the country. They're really good on the offensive glass. They also don't turn it over that much. 8 turnovers per game compared to Colorado. That's 4 better. They have a top 40 ranked defense in the country. This team's tough to beat straight up, especially by 12.5 points. I could see Colorado winning it by 5, 6, 7. Comes down to the end of the game, free throws, and it's close. Colorado 7-0 on the year. Do we really trust Tad Boyle laying double-digit points? I want you to think about Tad Boyle's coaching history at the University of Colorado. They don't win many games, period, especially by 13 points. Colorado averaging 90 points a game, but that's because they've played absolutely no one. The only high major team they've played is in Washington. Washington has not been a good basketball program for a long time. This is probably their toughest game of the year. I will take Cal Baptist plus 12.5. Also, this line might keep going up. When it opened, it was 10.5. It is now 12.5. This thing might close at like 14. So if you're trying to get a better number, I would wait right before this game tips off. All right, next game we got, Philly 5 matchup. It is Temple and Nova. I will take Temple plus 14.5. This is the first year Villanova head coach Kevin Willard comes over from Maryland. Still yet to really get used to these Philly 5 teams that he's going to play quite often. Temple, they've been decent so far this year. Road environment shouldn't really faze him too much. Like, yeah, Villanova has a good home court, but it's a Philly 5 game. You expect to be a tough road game every single time you go into these kind of things, and they're used to it. Temple 4-3 on the year. They do have some decent wins. They beat Princeton. They've beaten Hofstra. They also have bad losses. They lost against Boston College, and they lost against Rhode Island by 15. This team, they excel in not turning the ball over, just giving it up 8 times per contest. They do struggle putting the ball in hoop, shooting at 31% from deep. They also struggle rebounding, bottom 60 in the nation. So they just put the ball in the hoop, rebound it a little bit better than normal, and you should be able to hang around with Nova. Villanova, 5-1 on the year. Their only loss was opening night against BYU. That's because that was the only team they've actually played since that game. They're a complete transfer team, returning just one guy from the previous year's squad. They start 2 freshmen. One of them is a true freshman. The other one is a fake freshman. It's like a 21-year-old from Europe. He's already played professional basketball. I don't want to start getting talking on that. It's a whole bunch of nonsense. Laying 14.5 with Willard. First true home game is a Philly 5. No thank you. I will take Temple plus 14.5. I kind of think the money line is alive. All right, next game we got. Last time we took Iona, it was earlier in the season. We got hooked because they couldn't make free throws. I'm going to go in again. This line absolutely reeks. Iona's been a good squad so far this year. Delaware has not. Give me the Gales minus 1.5. Also going to rock the over, 158.5. Delaware lost earlier this season to a Division II school at home by 9 points. And you're telling me Iona, one of the best teams in the MAAC, are coming to your town and they're only laying 1.5 points. It makes no sense, but I'm down. Iona 5-2 on the year, 1-0 on the road straight up. Their wins are against Hofstra, Kansas City, Fordham, Princeton, and Oregon State. Their 2 losses came both in the Virgin Islands, one to Akron and the other to Green Bay by 5. They're an old team. They start 4 seniors and then 1 freshman from Europe, but again, not a true freshman because he's from Europe. They play the exact opposite style of basketball than Delaware does. Iona's going to look to play quick, get up court, run tempo, shoot a lot of threes. I think they're going to run him out the gym. I could easily see Iona scoring 90 plus. I struggle to see Delaware scoring that much, so I will take Iona. Delaware 2-4 on the year. I think the line is short because their most recent game, they beat UNC Greensboro at home. They only averaged 69 points a game. They played a bottom 50 pace in the country. Not a good rebounding team, bottom 100, and they shoot at less than 70% from the free throw line. I do not think they're going to win 2 games in a row. Give me the Gales. Give me the over. All right, the last game we got, it is UAB on the road in Murfreesboro. I will take Middle Tennessee plus 3.5. I have Middle Tennessee laying 1.5 if I were to make the line. So the fact I can get 3.5 points with the home team, I will take it. UAB 6-2 on the year, but they're 0-1 on the road so far. Not the kind of basketball team you're going to be looking to lay a number with on the road. UAB's one road loss was to NC State by 24. So is that a semi-fraudulent road loss? Yes, because NC State's really good. But their other loss, straight up, was Alabama State by 3 at home. The only good team they've beaten this year was High Point. They somehow managed to beat them by 17 about 3 weeks ago. This team struggles shooting 69% from the free throw line, 28% from deep on the year. On the road, in a tough road environment like Murfreesboro, that is not going to go well. Middle Tennessee 4-3 on the year. They have losses against Michigan by 25, George Washington by 13, and then McNeese by 10. Those are 3 really good programs. They beat 2 Division II schools by 1 billion. University of Evansville by 5, and then Murray State by 3. That is a fantastic win against a very good Murray State team. They returned 3 starters from last year's team, bringing a transfer from Penn State. They shoot it 47% from the field, 36% from deep. Anytime you're in Murfreesboro and you're a home dog, I will take you. This is going to be a tight game. I can see it coming down to the final possession. So I will take Middle Tennessee plus 3.5. All right, now our almost bets. Tarleton is plus 17.5 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati just lost a home game to Eastern Michigan. There is no chance I am laying 17.5 with them. That being said, I will not be betting this game because I could see Cincinnati come out and just lay belt to ass because they did just lose a home game to Eastern Michigan. Next one, North Alabama, plus 4.5 on the road at Jacksonville State. Semi-regional here. I'm pretty sure Jack State's in Southern Bama. Could be wrong, but I think so. I like North Alabama this year. Haven't had the best start to the season, but I don't think they're 4.5 points worse than this Jack State team. So I'll take them plus 4.5. And finally, Xavier, minus 26.5. They had a really rough start to the year, losing multiple home games to bad teams. But now, it seems like they figured it out. They were able to beat West Virginia in that neutral game in Charleston. I like them at home. This FSU team is not good at all. I will take the Musketeers, minus 26.5. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.